What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another video. Today is going to be kind of exciting because we're going to be doing another Lancaster unboxing video along with kind of setting up what exactly we're unboxing and kind of giving it the rundown of how I go about setting one up. So let's dive into it. It's going to be a good video. Yeah, I hit it! No freaking way! So this is the all new Shrewd Atlas V-bar mount. Pretty much what it is. It comes in like a single side rod mount, and it comes in a dual V rod if you're like a recurve, or if you just like to shoot two rods on or one rod on each side. So this is a pretty cool little gadget. I've actually been running one of these on all my setups for the past few weeks, but today we're gonna unbox it, set it up, see what it looks like, and then kind of set up how I like to get it first rocking to how I like to have it feel. Kind of explain like what I've done in the past and all that. So let's go ahead, open this up, see what it looks like. So this was pretty cool in their packaging that they had all the bolts in this foam material kind of hidden so you couldn't see it. So super clean packaging on that part, and there's in the instructions it goes through like according to your bow and like the mount that it has what bolts you actually use, but I already know what bolt I'm going to be using and the washer setup for my Hoyt Prevail. So we'll go ahead and get that out, get it mounted on the bow, and then we'll kind of go through, like I said already, how I set it up. Pretty cool feature right off the bat is, depending on if you want it on the left side or the right side, you just take off this little Shrewd emblem, which is actually a screw. Then all you do is loosen this bolt, and then you can take this out, and then all you do is put it on the other side, and you just flip it from either a lefty or a righty setup, or if you just like it on the other side. So pretty cool how easy it is to do that, and it's super clean looking because you can just put this emblem right back in and you can't even tell that you can actually do that. Another really cool feature is the micro like adjustment measurements that you can like know exactly where to put it, and there's like a 0, which would be like neutral coming off of the bow, and then angles or just numbers off of that, so you can mark it, remember it, really fine tune your setup of how exactly you like it. So what they recommended and actually like designed to do is they have this hidden lock washer type looking thing that slides right in here, and then you put this big looking bolt right through there, and then anything that has like a metal stainless steel type mounting right here and it's just not straight to the riser, they recommend that you use that because it just allows for a whole lot tighter snug on that. So also what's really cool is Shrewd put in this big swoop right in here that perfectly aligns with the Hoyt riser. And if you had a square riser, or like probably what's on like a Matthews or something else, you actually flip it and then you have a completely square edge right there. So depending on what bow you have, what fits best, this actually helps it from torquing or canting if something gets bumped or if you're flying with it. So really cool feature right there. So next what they send you is this little quick disconnect part that actually fits right into the Atlas, and it's also pretty slick, quick disconnect. Let me tighten it. Just like that, we're installed pretty much ready to shoot. So we have the all new Atlas installed on the bow, and on like a Hoyt Prevail, there's 3 different mounting positions you technically can mount from. You could have it mounted just like I have it. You could mount it up in this next hole, or you can actually mount it from the front, which it's all personal preference about feel. And really, stabilizers in general are all about like enhancing how steady you hold, the different patterns you see, trying to get, you know, the least amount of movement from your sight picture. And really, it's all personal preference. So the best thing to do with stabilizers is mess around with a lot. And that's, you know, long distance, short distance, different shooting styles. You know, if you're doing a lot of field archery or elevation, like up and down shooting, that affects it a lot, changing up your stabilizer. So the best thing to do with stabilizers is mess around with a lot and different things. But anyways, what I like to do is I like to run it on the bottom. I've ran it on the top a little bit this year, but I switched it over to the bottom. It's holding a lot better and stuff like that. So obvious for me to switch it to the bottom. So I'm on the bottom. I'm at a pretty neutral spot. It's coming right off the bow, and this is still really loose, so I can actually just bump it up a little bit. So I'll have it coming pretty much straight off the bow like that. And as far as left and right, I like to have it, ooh, that's really loose. So I like to have it coming out pretty decent. This is about average coming out from the side of the bow. I'm not crazy on one side or the other. Really, what a side rod does, it creates bias on one side, so you like correct into it, which makes you hold steadier. And most right-handed shooters have it on the left side because it's naturally how they hold the bow, because you have your fingers all on the left side and you kind of like go up on the lip on the left side. So the normal way you push the bow, I guess you could say, is to the right, so you put a little bit of weight on the left. But so what I always like to do is go ahead and shoot it, see how it feels, and maybe change it from there. And right now I'm just doing that inside, like as the very beginning steps. But as you go on, it's very important to do like long distance shooting. You know, aiming, a good trick also is to aim at a line, you know, a horizontal line and a vertical line, and see how your holding patterns are and switch things up. And doing that takes a lot of time, like all day, multiple days. So this isn't something that you just like set up once and you're good to go. So first thing I noticed is my bubble was kicking off to the right, which means the top of my can was going to the left a little too much. So initial thoughts is I have the bar a little too far out to the left. Let's bump that in a little bit. Alright, so that was much better. Stayed pretty much in the center the entire time. But now I can just kind of tell that mine's up a little too much. It's too much at that neutral point. I like to have it down a little bit. And what happens when you have it down is the weight's actually farther or closer to the bow, because if you bring it down, it gets closer to like the center of the bow. So essentially, you bring it down, you maybe need to add a little bit of weight. You bring it up, it's at its farthest or most efficient spot to get weight out farther away from the bow. So that's probably all it is. If I took off an ounce right now, I'd probably feel better, but normally I just kick it down a little bit with the amount of weight I have on. So that was feeling really good and really solid. All I did is bumped it in a little bit and out, or and down from my initial setup right off the bat. So that's a really good way just to get, you know, ground zero, just pull back, see how it feels, see how it's holding, maybe mess with the weight a little bit. But it's really important you go outside, do some longer distances that, you know, if you're comfortable shooting 50, 40, 30, 70, you know, we don't want to go too far outside our range, but a longer distance that you're, you know, and you're comfortable with it really helps. And do some, you know, see how you're grouping, see how you're holding, change things up. So stabilizers are a great tool, you know, but they also can harm you if you know you have too much weight, you have the wrong setup. So not going overboard with them, knowing that they're only there to enhance your form and enhance your holding patterns is super important. They're not there to fix anything, they're just there to enhance things. So hope you guys enjoyed this video, this Lancaster unboxing. Make sure to check out my Pro Picks page where you can check out this Shrewd Atlas V-mount bar in the link below, and we'll catch you guys next time.